The latest wave of arbitrary detentions of 22 United Nations staff in Sana'a and Hodeidah is an egregious escalation by Ansar Allah against the United Nations. While one staff member has recently been released, there are now over 40 UN personnel detained, in addition to a colleague who died while in detention. The United Nations and all its staff serve under the principles of impartiality, integrity, and respect for human rights and dignity. Their unacceptable arrests, the forced entry into UN premises, and the seizure of UN property in violation of international law endangers the United Nations' very ability to advance peace efforts and deliver humanitarian support to the Yemeni people. I want to thank this esteemed Council for its strong statement condemning these actions.
Events of the last 2 weeks, as described by
the consequences of war would be devastating for Yemen and the wider region. We must therefore continue efforts to de-escalate tension along the front lines and maintain a meaningful security dialogue with all relevant actors. The productive engagement by government of Yemen's military representatives, as well as those from the wider region, under the auspices of the Military Coordination Committee, remains vital for maintaining open lines of communication and confidence building among the parties. The opening and securing of some of the key roads across the country in the last year demonstrate that cooperation is possible. We must continue to build on these entry points.
Full support to the Special Envoy's strenuous effort.
My message to all Yemeni leaders is that the United Nations remain committed to working with you towards de-escalation, dialogue, and a long-term, Yemeni-led, inclusive political settlement. This is how we can ensure stability and prosperity for Yemen. It is possible, but it requires a conscious step back from where we are now.
Thank you, Mr. President. Rising food prices, security threats to our work, a collapsing economy, and persistent conflict have made Yemen the third most food insecure country on earth. Before February next year, 1 million more people are expected to be forced into extreme hunger, joining 17 million Yemenis with too little to eat. This includes more than 40,000 people in the catastrophic phase of food insecurity. I remain gravely concerned by the continued hostilities between the parties, which have resulted in scores of casualties and damaged critical infrastructure. Airstrikes against Sana'a and Al Jawf since the last council briefing are reported to have resulted in more than 300 casualties. International humanitarian law must be respected. Civilians and civilian objects must be protected.